G'day!
Hello, hello. G'day. Welcome in. If you don't know this song, this is an OST track from Hotline Miami. Oh my god, it's so good. Speaking of though, I actually did pick up Hotline Miami. I'm surprised I didn't have it. I did actually pick it up. Thanks to Gaben and the old winter sale. It was like $2 or something like that. It's pretty good. 80% off. Not bad. But we're not doing Hotline Miami today. We're playing Flotsam today. Welcome in Heaven, welcome in Tabox, welcome in Thor, and others. Let us swap over. Hi. Good Monday. Hello, hello. We'll also pause that, even though it's so good. Oh, even though it's so good, we'll pause that. Because this game has some very cozy music. And a cozy art style. Now, we did play this. When did we play this? It wasn't on the weekend. Was it Friday or was it Thursday? It was Thursday, I think. I can't remember. When did we play it? Thursday, I think, right? Because Friday we did Oxygen Not Included. And then I didn't stream on the weekend. And now it's Monday. Hopefully everyone's Monday is going well. Hi, hi. Hello, Sen. Welcome in. As usual. Starting the stream off with a coffee. Ooh. Nice. So we will continue to grow our floating city. I do enjoy the game though. Very, very good. We've got it paused at the moment. Now I do remember with like your research is kind of tied to specialists that you find. We ended up getting, I think, right as we ended up getting the, I think it was our, let's see. I believe it was, yes, our farming specialist. So for our specialist that we have the electrician, we have the doctor, we have the farming specialist, and I guess technically you have the radio specialist as well, because that's the first person you find and they unlock. You have the ability to find more specialists. So we ended up going with the electrician first because the electrician is just the general best specialist to pick up, because they allow you to upgrade your buildings into electric buildings and you are able to power them with some generators. And the wood power generator, like if we just in terms of talking about how much electricity like is way better than just burning wood, the best way to tell it from is actually, where are we? I have to remember what it looks like. The grill, wherever our electric grill is. Basically, if you have a regular grill, then it costs basically 1 firewood per food item. Whereas if you've got the electric grill, it's, at least in terms of creating the grilled nibblers, it's 1 firewood for like 12 grilled nibblers or something like that. Just based on how much power this actually generates. So yeah. We've expanded pretty decently. We have a few extra boats. We do have 12 drifters. The pollution is getting kind of high, so I think I'll work on that. Now we do have the doctor, so if they do get sick, we can, make some medicines and administer that, which will cure their sickness. However, there are ways to limit some pollution. One of them being with their tents. We can upgrade the tents into some shacks and actually make some air purifiers, and then upgrade the shack, or the homes, with the air purifiers. Now, I thought I did set some air purifiers to be made. Yes, we have them over here. So we'll need to get some more mushrooms and also some more medicine. The carbon we can produce, if I remember what building I make it in. It's been a little while, so I gotta figure out what building we can make it in. The bio boiler. So that just takes firewood, which, we have 176 firewood, apparently. So, plenty of carbon can be produced. Now, because we did pick up a farmer just before we ended, essentially, we're able to build new things. So after we've researched, granted, so we're going to be researching farming, and then it allows us to actually build some fields, and we'll be able to plant things. Now, I'm assuming that these would just take probably compost, which we make at the bio boiler right here, using wood and bio waste. Bio waste is very easy. We can just get that from our seaweed, turn our seaweed into bio waste, which we've got 21 already. But we might up our production of the compost. We'll go to 16, I think. I don't think we would need anything else for that, to be honest. We are going to need some specific crops and things too. We do have a potato. We have one potato. And that's it. Where's my grill? I want to keep that potato, so I will cancel that to make sure those do not get made. That's fine. That is fine. Okay, cool. Alright then, let's work on some of the air purifying, which does mean that we actually need to upgrade our tents into shacks, so then we can get the air purifiers. Now, I did notice that the boarding houses, you can't apply air purification to them. So if we think about it, we have like a tent slash shack for 2 of our NPCs, our drifters, as they are called, and the boarding house houses 5. So if we want everyone to be effectively getting a reduction to the pollution every time they sleep, they're gonna all have to be situated into tents, which does mean we're gonna need 6 of the tents slash the shacks. So a lot of floating, a lot of floaters, a lot of wood, a lot of rope. Rope is seaweed, so we'll get that over time. We have plenty of wood right now, so that can be turned into our planks. So it's just going to be plastic. So we're going to need a lot of plastic, and we're going to need to pick up some more mushrooms. So we'll let them harvest all these things, and then we'll look for, well, we have some mushrooms over there, so we can pick up those mushrooms. And then I guess bits of plastic and stuff. So over here we've got a plastic factory, some plastic, more plastic factories, a lot of plastic everywhere. So we'll pick up all of that. We'll let the game play a little bit then. Hopefully everyone's doing well on their Monday. I'm kind of like almost working all throughout like the Christmas sort of New Year's holidays. I'm not as privileged to get sort of Christmas holidays, basically. They should get done researching the fields. Yeah, researching our fields relatively shortly, if I remember. Where we have our... Yep, 3 more pieces for the research station. Hey Naked, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. You'd have to keep in mind how much weight we have for our entire city. We are kind of nearing this 5,000 total capacity. Now you can increase it with a specialist, which that might be the next specialist we pick up, perhaps. So then we can actually expand. Because I'm assuming that we're going to have to add a lot of weight once we start building these fields. And I assume like wood would be a very valuable resource because, there we go, we've researched it. Because I'm assuming that once you've got these fields and they're planted, then I assume that they're going to cost quite a bit of water. So we can place 1x1s or up to 5x5s. 1x1s cost compost, and everything else costs compost and planks. A weight of 1, a weight of 25. I guess we'll throw down a big field. We've only got a couple potatoes, so technically won't be able to really do much. But it's assigned us to build a field. Also, we should have a look at any other. Tree farming requires a botanist. I feel like if you get tree farming, then you can just plant trees to get dry wood, and then you kind of don't need to search for wood, maybe. We technically can't research anything more. We need more specific specialists to actually do that. Alright, here we go. That ought to do it. Let's get to potato planting. So we've got to plant 3 potatoes. Right. So if we click on the field, we can open the crop menu. Oh. And you can just plant them straight away, like that. Okay, well we've only got 2 potatoes, so that's all we can plant. Our quest is assigned for 3 potatoes. So I guess we're gonna have to find some more potatoes. Some potatoes, plastic, more food, more wood as well. Wood is always good to get. We have another radio signal as well. Ah, good. Okay. Well, I did mention that I did want... I think it's the engineer. I believe it's the engineer that gives us access to a tugboat, and that gives us a larger platform to build on. Legendary cockle, broadcasting from what's left of the world. Systems shop, coffee's gone. Oh no, speaking of coffee. Good stuff. If anyone's still out there, bring snacks. Okay, we're going to be responding. Never heard of it, not surprised. I've been stuck in this rust bucket for who knows how long trying to fix my loneliness by building a robot, but these parts are trash. Road township, an actual town. Ship. We're moving town, looking for other survivors. Moving town, let me guess, you're low on power, you're holding too much weight, and you've heard whispers of a legendary engineer who could fix it all. Yep, that's me. Here's my terms, and rescue me from this hunk o' junk. Feed me, water me, and give me a comfy bed to sleep on. Do that, and I'll make your problems disappear. Sending my coordinates. Where about are you located? Well, you're located very, very nearby. So that's a bonus. Brilliant. We'll fish up all these nibblers. We'll get foraged mushrooms, and for a little bit of manual work, we'll get some wood. This guy ended up getting sick, with Spongehead, extra water consumption, but I think we might have some medicines to cure Spongehead. Yeah, we do. Spongehead medicine, so we can cure him. But I mean, if we don't need to spend resources curing people, resources and time, then that'll save us some, you know, basically time and resources. Wow. So ideally, we can get that going. Now, we do have seaweed coming in, but I think it also is kind of efficient if we do go ahead and actually harvest some of this seaweed over here. So these ones is good. Gather tinder, that one's very good too, because just for some manual labor, you can grab that tinder and then we don't need to use our wood into tinder from the chopping. So there's a bunch of eels over here, electric eels. I think there is like there is a generator or something for the electric eels. That's burning firewood. That's manually generating. Obviously a storage, and that is burning oil. I should also look at getting a torque thruster as well. Increases the town's movement speed by 25%. That would help and save us a bit of sort of power and things like that as well. I'm kind of like now at the point where I'm like looking at efficiencies and stuff. And what I can do that makes things a little bit more efficient is kind of my stage of the game. Let's upgrade that. So here we go. It reduces all inhabitants' pollution by 200% whenever they sleep. So we'll get that. You can even have an extra bonus by making the other one as well, the respirator. The respirator requires more mushrooms, it requires medical fluid, even more carbon, and it requires plettle, which plettle is metal and floater, which we're probably going to need quite a bit of plettle for some products and stuff like that as well. So we should set this to be automated, but we should limit the plettle that we're going to craft. 6, I might lower that to 2. We got 6 full metals, that's fine. I need to up this a little bit, the demolition tools. Cool. I was in this game in the Summer Game Festival. I would have no clue about that. Maybe? Maybe not. Also, installing gas bags into our... well, we've got them all on there, into our buildings is going to be ideal. Yeah, we'll put them onto these so we get a little bit more weight. Someone's got to level up. Athletics, crafting, you know what? Sure. Give you some athletics for some movement speed. There's even more mushrooms over here, so that's actually good. Might be, might not be, since there were a bunch of building games. I mean, I wouldn't say that there's a high chance that it could have been. You know. Polluted seaweed? Nah, not gonna worry about that. We will get the electronics over here. That's good. We specifically need more plastic as well. So we've got our plastic over here. So I think if we go over here, we scout the area, we get see about this traveler's quest so we can recruit him. And then find more plastic. So that way we can get more air filters and make people a little bit more happy, rather than relying on this pollution and stuff like that. We have reached day 100. Oh my god. So if we have a look at these. Oh yes, you got a growing time, and then there's also this Use the refill threshold slider to change when drifters should refill water up to the refill amount. Daily consumption of 70 mil. Refill threshold is at 350 mil and they will refill 1800 milliliters. Now, how much is like one bit of water? How much water do you have in one water? That is what I would like to know. I guess it doesn't really tell you. Yeah, there's also there's also a bunch of games that were kind of shown somewhat recent as well. Ooh, medicine and bio waste. We produce our own bio waste. We don't need to collect that. Yeah. Welcome to the Rust Bucket. I'm ready to get the heck out of here. Are you ready to fix me to fix your problems? Sure, easy to do ever. Have you got my bunk prepared? I don't think we actually even do. We might. Solid frame, good guns. That's a mighty fine generator you've hauled in. Alright, what you need is something that carries part of the weight. Town tugger. Research of a blueprint, but you can do your part and find me the resources to build the thing. Alright, well, look at that. We got even more metal from this guy. Cool. But I think we need some more plastics before we can even produce our demolition tools. Research the town tugger. Oh, we could research solar power too. Interesting. Alright, this one, weight capacity tugger. We'll start getting that researched. We've got some plastics down here. Got some plastics over here. We'll have to collect those plastics over there. Scavenge food, that's kind of nice. Easy. There's some more fish here. Chop some more trees. More plastics. Dismantle appliances, we always need the electric junk. Grab the plastic junk as well. There's actually tons of salvageable metal around here. Another level up. Yeah, you are. We got kind of two cooking people, but you're our main cooker. So I think at some point we might need another desalinator as well, perhaps. Kind of depends, like, because at some point in time, you know, we do need a lot of water for like the crops that we have, for our drifters, of course. I think for now, seems to be good. Oh, here we go. Sleep respirator. Reduces all inhabitants' pollution by 400% whenever they sleep. So we made a couple of them, but we also do need to make the other one as well. We make these air filters. So just a lot of mushrooms. So we're going to need a lot of mushrooms. Alright, we'll install that. Another level up. You know what, we'll round it to 10 crafting. And we've we've done our research. So the town tugger. What do we need? We need another piece of plettle. And then we can make this. Alright. So we're gonna have to actually up that limit here to 5. And that's queued up now. Cool. Oh, there you go. A new day. more mushroom fields, and these fish actually popped up. That's good. Now there is that's the seaweed stuff. We don't want that. Salvaged all of those. Salvaged all that. Yeah, we can get a bunch more metal scrap. How much metal scrap are we sitting on actually? I guess getting all of the metal scrap that we can get is actually good, because you need to turn it into metal and then the metal into platal. Speaking of platal, we're now at 7. So we can build a town tugger. Throw it over near our boats. You know what? Maybe here. Maybe over here. Maybe over here. Sure. Let's throw it there. And this will increase. I think it's by 2,500. Increases the weight of your capacity. I think it's by 2,500 weight. Which is good because we're at nearly 5,000. The weight tier is dependent on how much weight you have, and it increases the electricity it costs to actually move the town. Good work, Hotshot. Now let's link it to the town heart's electricity grid to spread out the energy load. Okay, so we do need energy for it as well. That means we can probably not connected to there. Wait, let's see. This one. Reconnect. That to there. This one. To there. There we go. Boom. Problem solved for now. As the down keeps growing, you'll need a few more of these. Good thing I came along. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got robots to dream about and scrap to yell at. Cool. Okay, we need to connect this one to the grid. That's a little too far away. And that's too far away as well. That's already got 2 connections. You know what, and maybe it's time to actually produce an electric pole here. At some point, there's an architect you can get. And the architect is good because the architect allows you to like reposition things on your boat. I think like freely. I don't think it costs anything. So it kind of like eliminates the need to actually deconstruct things and then rebuild them. So looking forward to that as well. So we need a lot more plastic as well. So let's go get more plastic. Also collecting basically more of the wood junk and the plastic junk is good too. Because I do need more of our town beauty as well. Town beauty, keep the people happy. Happy people work faster, work better. So that's good. So it's kind of interesting that you can actually, I guess, place more of the tuggers down kind of infinitely. You're not limited to one, so you can continue to expand.